Have you ever had a moment that completely changed your life? A moment when God opened the spirit realm and you knew something was different. You knew it was a divine moment. In Isaiah 6, the prophet doesn't just have a vision, he has a divine encounter. And what he sees changes him. I'm saying, if we correctly interpret our divine encounters, they will change us too. Remember the throne room vision? Isaiah said, in the year that King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord sitting upon a throne, high and lifted up, and his train filled the temple. That wasn't any servant leadership. God sat on a throne. After the death of King Uzziah, Isaiah had a vision of God's holiness, and it changed his life. In the vision, he saw seraphims, or winged heavenly creatures. Each one had 6 wings. With 2 wings, they covered their face, and with 2 wings, they covered their feet, and with 2, they did fly. And one cried unto another and said, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. They cried out so loud that it shook the post of the door, and the house was filled with smoke. The house was filled with the Shekinah glory. You can't make this up. Isaiah said, Woe is me, for I am undone, because I am a man of unclean lips, and I dwell among a people of unclean lips. For my eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts. It gets better. A fiery angel with tongues picks up a live charcoal and touches his lips with it, and he is cleansed. Now we get to the good part. Call it Isaiah's commission from the Lord. Isaiah said, I heard the voice of the Lord saying, Who shall I send, and who will go for us? Then I said, Here am I, send me. And he said, Go. Let me break it down. The earthly king was dead, but Isaiah saw the true king, the Lord, high and lifted up. Uzziah was gone, but God was still on the throne. That's a word for someone right now. Kings may fall, leaders may change, but God is always ruling. The old folks didn't explain it. They just said, God is still on the throne. His robe filled the temple. The place was saturated with divine majesty. And above him flew seraphim, fiery 6-winged heavenly beings, crying, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. These creatures were in awe, and when they cried out, the foundations of the temple shook. Smoke filled the temple. Heaven was electric with worship. Then there was the holy revelation of the high and lofty one, whose name is holy, the Most High God. God exists outside of all creation. If creation were to disappear, God would remain. He is set apart from humanity. His nature, or his essence, is divine, not human. You can't measure God on man's chart at all. He's divine. He is holy. Holiness is not an aspect of God's personality. It's his entire being. When Isaiah truly saw God, immediately his flaws were seen. He said, Woe is me, I am undone. Isaiah had a deep sense of depravity in the presence of the Lord. To me, he was a good prophet, but when he witnessed God's holiness, he was embarrassed, looking at the holiness of God. I'm a man of unclean lips, he cried. He realized, my mouth, my words, and my heart is not worthy of this glory. This is what happens when you step into the presence of God. It humbles you. It breaks you before it builds you. In today's church, the people have too much pride and dignity, or they're full of superficial praise without deep worship. May we all have times when we encounter God. One thing is for sure, Those who lead in the things of God must have a vision of God. This passage makes me understand my journey. Now I understand why God separated me. Now I understand all of the encounters with God. Now I know why I was caught up into the third heaven once. I'm setting myself apart even more and still having encounters. We who have heard his voice and have been humbled before him, we've seen our own flaws and our own weaknesses. That's why the creatures had 6 wings. With 2, they covered their eyes. With 2, they covered their feet. And with 2, they did fly. That means with 4 wings, they humbled themselves. And with 2, they served. Humbling ourselves before God must be greater than our service. Adoration must exceed activity. Mary sat at the feet of Jesus, but Martha was busy serving. We must sit at the feet more than we serve. We are serving God, but he misses us. We've got to spend time at his feet. God didn't leave Isaiah broken. He sent fire not to destroy him, but to cleanse him. Think it not strange the fiery trial, which is to try you as though some strange thing is happening to you. He said, then one of the seraphims flew to me, having picked up a live coal with the tongs from the altar. A live coal touches his lips. And the angel says, your iniquity is taken away and your sin is cleansed. What a Savior. As soon as Isaiah humbled himself, he was cleansed. The moment you confess your sin, God cleanses you. You don't clean yourself up to come to God. You come undone and he cleans you. That's grace. Then there was Isaiah's call to service. He said, I heard the voice of the Lord saying, who shall I send and who will go for us? Think about it. God is calling a man who just said he was unclean. Because after God cleanses you, he calls you. Isaiah doesn't hesitate. Here am I, send me. When you've seen God and you've been forgiven by him, obedience isn't a burden, it's a privilege. What about you? Will you humble yourself? Will you allow God to exalt you? Isaiah saw the holiness of God and God made him holy. I see you winning through holiness. If this message has helped you, please like, subscribe, and share. It's a sin when you don't win.